What's going on, guys? How are you guys doing? I'm gonna get straight into it. The title of this topic today is How to Be a Millionaire. And no, I'm not a millionaire, but I do know what it takes to become a millionaire. I do know the recipe. And I'll tell you my experience as to why I know what it takes and like what to do. And the first lie that they tell you is don't follow get rich schemes. Get rich quick schemes, I guess I should say it correctly. And that's a lie, because most successful people or very wealthy, rich people, they do get rich very quick. They do accumulate money very quick. And they usually are making money while they sleep. So they're making money around the clock, which allows them to make it quick. So that's a mentality of a poor person, and that type of mentality will always keep you poor. So you don't want to be making money slow. Over our lifetime, they say that we'll make $1 million, we'll gross $1 million, but who wants to, take 50 years, 60 years just to make $1 million? We do want to make it in somewhat of a quick pace, a quick speed, but it's all about the method that you take in order to make that money. I think that's more about what it comes down to, is the method that you choose to take in order to achieve that outcome. So for me, it comes down to two things. What I've learned from my experience, and of course reading books. I read a ton of books on business, biographies, and self-development. So what I have learned is that it comes down to two things, and those two things are intention versus distraction. So most people are distracted. They're distracted throughout their day. They're distracted by their phones. They're distracted by other people. They're distracted by, their TV. They're distracted by their surroundings. And what that does is that those distractions chew up a lot of your time. So in order to achieve something great or to be successful at something, it's going to require time. Robert Greene's book on mastery says in order to master something, it takes about 10,000 hours. So if you're distracted all the time, if your mind is always focused on other things, you'll never become a master at one particular thing that will reap rewards down the road. So you have to have intention on something. You have to have focus on something in order to achieve money from it. And let me give you a perfect example. When I was in college, I wanted to become an entrepreneur. So I read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. The thing about that book is that, yes, you do need to think it, because every great idea or every great thing that somebody does, successful thing that somebody does, starts off first as a thought. So you do need to think it, but it's more to it than that. It needs to become your life. And what I mean by that is, when I was in college, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So for me, it was more than just a want. It was something that I was going to do. So what I did was, most of my time was spent around entrepreneurship. I would go to events. I would join groups. I would link up with other people that were aspiring to be entrepreneurs, or they wanted to work with other entrepreneurs. So my life was consumed by entrepreneurship whenever I wasn't in class. So when your intent is on something specific, the chances of you becoming successful at it greatly increase. That's why it's not luck to become successful. It's a science, and your energy has to be put towards it. And I was putting all my energy towards it. So because I was putting my energy towards it, it led me to meeting important people. It led me to meet graphic designers, people that were good at marketing. So I became friends with these type of individuals. And because we were good in all our specific areas, I was more business focused. I was more idea driven. This is the idea. This is how it should work. This is how people are going to use it. And this is how we're going to make money off of it. That's more my job. Now, I had an engineer, a person who could actually create an app, who can create almost like an MVP. most valuable product. And what we did was we took that idea and we took it to pitch competitions, and we're raising money that way. And we ended up having one of the best startup ideas in Grand Rapids. So the company no longer exists because we were in college, and many of us went our own separate ways. We wanted to finish up doing whatever it was that we wanted to do. So the company no longer exists, but from that experience, I know what it takes to build something successful. It takes a lot of time. We spent hours out on the street pitching the idea to people to find out if they would use it. We spent hours coming up with PowerPoints on how we would pitch the idea. How could we, how would our elevator pitch go? If we were stuck in the elevator for 30 seconds and we had to pitch our idea to somebody, how could we convey that idea to them and make them want to invest? So a lot of time was spent towards this, how we would acquire customers, how we would make money. Would it be a freemium product first, which is a product that's for free, and then later down the road, maybe charge people in some way, provide some type of service where we can charge or take a percentage. So a lot of time was put towards it. A lot of energy was put towards it. And if we were distracted, if we were focused on going and hanging out with friends, if we were focused on going home to catch the latest episode of Hell's Kitchen, if we were focused on, playing on our phone, looking at TikTok, scrolling Instagram, we would have never had the success that we had. So when you break down your hours in a day, 8 hours, let's say, I would say 6 to 8 hours are spent sleeping. Let's just say 8 hours. 8 hours are spent sleeping. 8 hours are spent working. If you're in school, you may be working and going to school, so more time may be even consumed. But let's just say 8 hours. So 8 hours is spent working, 8 hours is spent sleeping. I would say about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour is spent eating throughout the day. That's accumulation of time. So throughout the day, I would say over an hour is spent just eating. So let's just say an hour. So we're looking at 17 hours already. So let's say you go to the gym. I go to the gym. I spend about an hour and a half to 2 hours in the gym. So let's just say 2 hours. Now I spent 19 hours 19 hours of my day. For me, now I only have 5 hours to be productive. So I have to maximize those 5 hours. I can't waste those 5 hours watching TV or scrolling on my phone, which people do for like hours. If you were to look at your usage at the end of the week of, how long you were on each specific apps, you have probably been on those apps a total of 10 hours. For some people, maybe even more, who knows? But if I spent all my time on those apps, if I spent all my hours messing around on those apps and stuff, I would have never been able to accomplish the things that I accomplished. So that's when I first really realized that this is how you become successful. It's intention. You have to be focused. You have to be driven. You have to give your energy to that thing you want to be successful at. And off the bat, you may not be successful, but you learn from those mistakes and you continue with the next project. You think of Elon Musk. We know him from Tesla. We know him from SpaceX. But he had other companies before those companies that, didn't do well. But he learned from those companies. He learned from those mistakes and applied them to his new ventures. So as long as you take that energy and make the decision to put it into something, the chances of you becoming successful at it are great, especially if it's something that you're passionate about, or if it's something you have a unique skill in already, you're talented in. You can really take that ability to the next level. Look at LeBron. LeBron already has natural athleticism. He's a freak. Now, he could have been okay with that and, been complacent with that, and he would have had a mediocre NBA career. But because he had the talent and because he had the drive and because he put his energy into becoming the best player in the world, we look at him as being one of the best players to ever play basketball. So it's all about success, becoming wealthy. It's all about what you put your energy into. So stop with the mindset of, don't do get rich quick schemes, because that's just society's way of stopping you from being successful. There's always a negative stigmatism placed on people wanting to create wealth or to become rich. And most of the people that have that kind of mentality of, getting rich is bad, or getting rich, they're all dirty. Those people are typically poor, and they'll typically stay poor because of their mentality. I remember my dad asking me one day when I was younger, I never forget it. He asked me, he said, "Yo, Corey, do you want to be rich?" And I hesitated for a minute, and I hesitated because I had the feeling that me wanting to be rich was a bad thing, because that's how the world makes you feel about it. But I told him yes. And he said, "You'll never be that working for somebody." And I took that with me for the rest of my life. So I've always known that I had to create something. I had to be the creator of something in order to have full control over my life, and also in order to, accumulate large amounts of wealth, large amounts of money. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, that the difference is intention versus distractions. Poor people are typically distracted. Poor people tend to focus on politics. They tend to focus on who's red and who's blue, and how I hate them, and how the Dems are doing this and the Republicans are doing this. I don't focus on those things. I don't even engage in those kind of conversations, because I know where I want to take my life, and I have goals that I need to hit. So my energy can't be wasted. The 5 hours that I only have in a day can't be wasted arguing over politics, can't be wasted watching TV, can't be wasted playing games or on Instagram or on TikTok. That energy has to be placed into the goal that I'm trying to achieve. I just be sitting back and I be thinking, when I listen to people sometimes talk about the lives of celebrities, like when they're into all that news and gossip, like I be thinking to myself, like, y'all really care about Jennifer Lopez's life, or y'all really care about the Kardashians' life? Like, just so much time and energy is invested in somebody you don't know. Like, shouldn't you be putting that energy towards something else, a project or something that you want to achieve in life? Like, so much energy is wasted. People are experts at information that doesn't move the needle, and they're novices at intention, things that matter. Now, when you are able to flip that script, you'll then understand how to make money. Stop focusing on information that does nothing for you, and start focusing on the intention, the intentional things that play a role in your future. But I thank you guys. I don't mean to yell. I'm sorry. I just try to, I want better for you guys. You know what I mean? I'm genuine. Like, I really want people to be successful. I'm not one of those people with that crab in the barrel mentality where I see somebody else successful, I got to pull them down. No, man, I try to lift up everybody. Like, I want to see everybody thrive, be happy, be successful in the things that they want to do in life. That's the ultimate goal, right? So I just try to bring content that helps get you guys closer to what you want to achieve. But I thank you guys for checking out this video, and I'll have more content on the way. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.